Today we're going to be going over one of my #1 most used methods for a solo player to get some rare acquisitions here in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. This is one of the things that I do all the time when I'm starting to run low on these things. I'm talking about classified schematics like the Aether blade, the dog bone, the golden armor plate, and also going over a few ways that you guys can farm up some wonder weapon cases as well. So if you guys are into zombies content or honestly anything Call of Duty, please do consider dropping the video a like and subscribing to the channel, man. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers and your support means the world to me. Now, in order to do this, it's not necessarily necessary, but I would advise you guys to at least have a Scorcher and 2 Pack-a-Punch crystals and bring in another decent primary weapon. The reason for the first crystal is so you can get that primary weapon to at least a Pack-a-Punch 1 or 2, so that way it's at least taking care of zombies and bosses decently. And the other Pack-a-Punch crystal is so you can Pack-a-Punch your Scorcher and you no longer just have that 10 ammunition, you're gonna have 20, which is gonna make boosting around the map way easier when you're just trying to collect things and build up your stash and getting ready to go into the Dark Aether. Now, when I started this match, I did have a sigil already, but if you guys don't have one, you can just go into tier 3 and start farming up a bunch of contracts and get yourself a sigil that way. What I'm gonna do right off the bat here is I'm actually just gonna take my Scorcher and I'm gonna be one of the very first ones to get into tier 3, so that way I can just immediately start checking all of these crates and stuff that are on the roof and try to build up my self revives and things like that. Now, doing all this is honestly pretty crucial because you don't want to be going down in the Dark Aether without a dog bone and stuff like that, because yeah, then you're just kind of screwed. Be sure to make really good use of this time and make sure that you're getting all of your perks and all of your guns Pack-a-Punched at least up to level 2. I mean, I would prefer it to be level 3, but usually Pack-a-Punch level 2 can work for what you need to do here. And I actually ended up running into a guy that ended up dropping me a bunch of essence, and man, Tombstone just be going absolutely crazy right now, so shout out to those guys that ended up dropping me a bunch of essence. I don't know, man, I kind of think Tombstone is one of those things that it's like riding on the edge of like, I want it to be fixed because I think it's kind of ruining like what this experience of this game should be, but at the same time I know a lot of people really have fun with it and enjoy what it does. It's also just a way for people to experience a lot of things in this game that they probably wouldn't have otherwise. And also those cooldowns are just absolutely atrocious. I mean, 3 days waiting for something is just, man, that's just insane. But with this match coming to an end and the storm was starting to come in, I think it was about time to go into the Dark Aether. Now, in this run, I'm gonna not make any cuts in the video or anything, so that way you guys can see exactly where I go and what routes that I'm gonna be taking. I'm not saying these are the 100% best ways to go, but this is what honestly has been working for me so far. But I'm telling you right now, having this Scorcher makes coming here into the Dark Aether so easy. If you notice, right when I spawn in, I'm just gonna immediately boost up and I'm gonna go to the left where this bunny is on top of the building over here. Now, I didn't quite make it all the way to the building, and when I tried to boost up again, I was stuck on something and it held me on the ground, so looks like we're still taking the ladder even though we had the Scorcher, which that's alright. If you guys need to know where any of these things are, like the Mr. Peaks bunnies that activate the missions, or maybe the doghouse, or if you want to know where all the portals are, or the Easter eggs and things like that, I'm going to be throwing up an interactive map on the screen right now, so that way you guys know where everything is. So big shout out to MWZHUB.gg. They're the ones that put together all of these interactive maps. So if you guys are into Modern Warfare Zombies, or if you're into Warzone or anything like that, these guys have dedicated interactive maps that'll show you where all the caches are, all the Easter eggs, all the steps that you guys need to do. Everything is in there for you. So almost anything that you want to know about these game modes, you can find there on their website, and I'm gonna leave it down in the description if you guys want to just go check that out. Now, I don't know why, but there was so many zombies that were just surrounding these Aether extractors. It was kind of crazy. Usually I get pretty lucky with the first one and there's not so many and I don't even have to waste my first decoy, but there was so many on that first one. But if you have the Scorcher, I honestly find this to be one of the absolute easiest contracts for you to do as a solo player. Now, this third one was where I was having some issues, but hey, that's what we brought in all these self revives for. Also, usually this third one isn't that big of an issue because you'll have a bunch of zombies on that first one and a lot of them haven't spawned down there on that third one yet, and usually when I jump down there it's kind of clear. But there was a bunch of guys down here too and I didn't have any decoys or anything left, so we ended up going down a couple times, but we got the contract completed and that's all that matters. Now, out of this first one, we really didn't get much. I think the best thing that I ended up pulling out of this contract was that epic Aether tool, but we got both of our self revives back that we ended up wasting on this thing, so I guess that's kind of a plus. So right after I finished going down here on this contract here a few times, we're gonna end up going over to the Holdout mission. I don't think I'm gonna do the escort mission because without the VR11, trying to do that contract solo is just an absolute pain in the ass. But after we end up doing this Holdout mission, I'm gonna show you guys how we can get ourselves a free Wonder Weapons case and possibly a VR11. So if you did want want to do the escort mission when you come in, that would be 100 times easier with this thing. All right, damn, finally with this Aether extractor, man, it was giving me some troubles this time, but we're gonna head straight on down here and grab the bunny. This is gonna be the quickest path to grab the holdout mission bunny. If you guys completed Act 4 and fought the worm in here, there's a bus that's right on top of the hill right here, and the bunny spawns right in the window, so we're gonna just go ahead and grab that. Now this is why I said you should have a really good primary weapon on you, is because this is where you're probably gonna end up using that thing the most. And while the Scorcher could do okay in here, it takes a long time to shoot those projectiles, and you're only gonna be dealing with a nice handful of them, so it's just a good thing to have like a shotgun on you, or maybe the tier pistols, just something that you can deal with these zombies that are going to be running at you kind of quickly. And you don't necessarily need to have your weapon all the way up to PAP 3, just because the zombies that are in here are kind of equivalent to the zombies that are in Zone 2. So if you find yourself confident enough, I think that most average players should be able to come in here with a PAP 2 weapon and be able to handle themselves okay. With that last contract being such a dud, I'm really hoping that this one's going to drop me something good, man. I really want something good, like either that Aether blade, even a golden armor plate. Hell, I'd be happy with a dog bone at this point. After fending these guys off for a few minutes, we finally got this contract complete, and would you look at that? This is what I like to see from these contracts, man. We got an Aether blade, we got an epic Aether tool, we got an Elder sigil, which is pretty cool because then we can go in there. Do have all the schematics already, but going inside of the Elder Dark Aether and doing the contracts in there have more of a chance of dropping you the rare acquisition, so we're definitely going to be going in there. Next, we're going to walk straight out the door, and I'm going to boost straight up into the sky and grab these keys that are going to be on top of the fortress. Yet again, I'm going to throw up that map just so you guys can see where they're at, and also just kind of show you where they are on the screen. This is going to be your way to get yourself a free wonder weapons case. Now bear in mind, this thing doesn't 100% always spawn down here, but for me personally, usually it does, so I kind of like to take my time out just to grab them. Now most of the wonder weapons honestly aren't really worth it, but if you can get your hands on either the VR11 or the Scorcher, I would say those two are definitely worth picking up. I personally really like the Wonder Waff. Maybe that's just a nostalgia thing talking, but that's probably my favorite wonder weapon. For doing this strategy that we've been talking about here, the Scorcher is your main thing. Like, that thing makes this game mode so ridiculously easy, whether you're trying to regain a character or if you're just trying to farm those missions in the red tier zone or just loot the red tier zone or coming in here into the Dark Aether to do these contracts as a solo player. Scorcher is honestly going to be your bread and butter. So we're going to hop down here and we got a Wonder Waff. I really wish it was a VR11, but oh well, I'll take it, man. But with that, I think I've done everything that I want to do as a solo player here in the Dark Aether on this run, so we're going to go ahead and boost up to the Exfil. Kind of check out our loot for a second. We ended up leaving here with an epic Aether tool, which is what we used. We ended up coming out with a sigil, also an Elder sigil, a Wonder Waff case, and an Aether blade case, so not a bad run at all. I will definitely take that, and just keep in mind, by doing either one of these contracts and doing what you saw here, you can be farming yourself up either the golden armor plate, the dog bone, or the Aether blade. These contracts also have a good chance of dropping you some legendary tools as well, so that's another thing you can keep an eye out for. So that's going to be about it, guys. I hope you found the video helpful. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do drop that like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and honestly, you guys mean the world to me, man. Lately, the support on the channel has just been absolutely insane, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So yeah, with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.